Alright, timestamp. It is August 17th, 2026, about 11 p.m. I think it's actually my second video. It's not quite midnight for the day, whatever. Just got out of the shower 5-10 minutes ago. Mowed the front lawn and side lawn. I had to change the batteries, let them recharge and whatnot about 3 times because the grass was probably about a foot, in some places 1.5 feet, because it's been raining and relying on some other people to do it, and they kept putting it off, and enough's enough, you know. It's about 4 hours, 5 hours, and apparently, according to the Weather Channel, because I didn't get scolded for this, but my girl was like, you know, it feels like 108 today. I was like, I did not specifically know that, but I did know that it was warm outside. She's like, yeah. Yeah, I was wearing one of my light gray tanks, and the front of it was actually this color from Manly Sweat. It was, yeah. That's what I did in between 1 and 6 p.m. with some breaks in between because batteries. We've got 3 batteries, one of which is a heavy duty, so the 2 non-heavy duties, if I use one of those and the heavy duty, and then when the non-heavy duty conks out, switch over to the other non-heavy duty, because the really powerful one still had juice in it, so got me a little bit more distance each round, so to speak. But I still had to stop a few times for like half an hour or whatnot, let the batteries recharge. No fault of the equipment, it's fighting, you know, really tall grass. Greenworks, I'm digging their equipment. Not a paid sponsor, but I could be. I don't have the viewership, maybe someday, but it's not really a focus of mine. I feel bad because I know they changed the monetization rules recently, and there's quite a few YouTubers that it's going to affect them pretty drastically. So that sucks. I don't have that problem, but if I did, you know, somebody starts changing the way I get paid and reducing the amount. Yeah, I've been there before, and I did not like it. Oh, tired. I'm so sorry. Feels like 108, so yeah, a few hours of that. Yeah. We were doing Tweety on the roller coaster, now we're doing Bugs. We're doing some Harry and David milk chocolate peanut butter. This is the bar. Still needs a little bit of touch up here and there. Mostly on the edges. That's coming along. You can see the graining. I personally love stained wood that isn't necessarily a traditional brown. A lot of the furniture that I got for here, that I was going to use for here until we completely changed what we were doing, which, again, not upset about that, smart, is still in the box. The boxes, because I got like 7 or 8 pieces of furniture, you know, the kind you build, the box ones. They're labeling it Greige, which is kind of that off gray, kind of whitewashed. I was going for like an aquatic beach house kind of look, and I thought the greige is kind of fun. See, they're playing on the words gray and beige, but it's kind of goofy, but I get it. Um, Not quite the whitewash look, but that like gray blue. I figured that would look good for, again, aquatic beach house kind of thing. But I've stained some things like with red wood stains, with blue wood stains, whatnot, and done right, which I'd like to think I did. It can look really, really just sexy sharp. So I figured, in keeping with the color palette, staining the wood blue, essentially, wouldn't necessarily be a bad look. And then doing the steel gray, I think it'll look pretty good when it's done. And again, I've got some little bits here and there, if you can see that, where the white underneath is still showing. You can see it over here. This side I really haven't. Yeah, you can see that if you're really looking at it. And I'm not trying to go all Virgo on it, but I do want it to look pretty nice. I'm only doing these three sides because that's what's going to be visible, because it's going to be pretty much like this. You know what I mean? You're not going to see the back sides or even underneath. This one, I cheated, because that part is going to be visible, and I want to maintain the color palette. This is basically going to go like this. Yeah. It'll make sense when you see it. But I've got some aerosol primer for plastics. I prefer to do the brush just because it's more zen for me. But in getting the inside of that, because I'm going to do it with the steel gray, that I went ahead and hit with the spray. I took it outside, I didn't do it inside. And if you are playing with this kind of thing, number one, yes, ventilated areas. Number two, make sure that you're using a primer that works for the material that you're working with. Like plastics. I'm working with plastics for the most part, and there are some primers that do not work on plastics. They are for wood or metal or ceramic, things like that. And because of the chemical content, it will actually melt or distort plastic. I have found that out the hard way. It was a long time ago. I was young and foolish, but I used a primer on something. I don't even remember what it was, but it was one of those life lesson moments. But I used a primer on something that it wasn't actually graded for plastic, and I don't even remember what it was, but I kind of created like a Salvador Dali work. Oops. So, yeah. Read the label, and if you're like shopping for it on Amazon or something like that, actually put in, primer for plastic, for wood, or whatever it is you're doing. Use the keywords. Mostly got that primed, a few little spots here and there. That's gonna hold little placard. But priming it, then I'm gonna do it with a steel gray. Make it look like a little metal. You'd see something like this maybe outside a deli or something, telling what the soup of the day is and what the sandwich special is or what have you. 2 for 1 pastrami's, Special on Guinness, $4.99. Did some laundry type stuff, did some dishes, did some stuff in the garage. Definitely did my one brick. Didn't necessarily do a lot of things that are on my list. I wasn't expecting to do the lawn, But in doing some stuff around the house yesterday, day before, I saw how high the lawn was, and I saw that it pretty much was like 1%, 3% of rain today, and I'm like, got the window, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, it was hot. But yeah, while I was waiting for the battery to charge up, that's why I'm so far along on this. So I was like, well, I can sit here and paint while I do that. There's a certain amount of non-work that goes into waiting for a battery to charge. You know what I mean? I'm hard at work waiting. So. So good. Tomorrow we may be going to George. Pix can't find the eBay card catalog. We're thinking maybe we accidentally left it at George. So she's kind of freaking out about that. Forget the kinda. She's freaking out about that. I don't really utilize it as much, which makes her a little crazy because she wants to write it all down and document it, and I just want to take the pictures, do the listing, and move on to the next one, you know. But it is one of the ways that we track what box it's in and such. We do things differently, she and I. We work well together, but we have a different approach on things. It's true. But yeah, she wants to get reorganized on the eBay so that we can start hitting that. Exactly, Jacques. And if she's not able to document it in her mind, because again, we operate very differently, in her mind it's out of control. And much like Riff Raff, she's got to keep control. Oops. I found it. But yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit of touch up here. And I'm going to go to bed. Again, I don't know if we're going to George tomorrow or not. We might be. She says that she wants to. I don't know if we're going to do it. Because her back's really killing her. She was doing a lot of lifting the day before. And she tweaked something. She was going through a lot of boxes today, which is cool. But she and her heating pad were getting along really well, which I completely respect. Having a back injury myself, I understand that one. get the paintbrush in that crack just right, but there's no paint on the brush. So you're just like massaging the surface. I know there's a lot of parts of that sentence, so you gotta be careful where you say them, but there we go. Nice thin brush. Although it's difficult to reach cracks and crevices. I'm concentrating. No, the audio didn't just go out. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. Health check. Feel okay. A little overheated probably from today. But, you know. No actual heat stroke, critical dehydration, anything like that. But it was warm out. 108. Had that one little area that didn't want to cooperate. I'm trying not to go, across the gray area there. It is the whole point of using the small brush. Yeah, I think this will look really good. And of course, once I have the paint done, then I can do the top coat, and it's pretty much ready. I still need to do the walls, which is going to require me digging into the wrapping paper. Come on, get in there. Which, if it sounds like I'm insinuating it's a pain in the ass, it's going to be a pain in the ass. But it needs to be one of the next things that I do. Come on. Just because with the walls in place, well, anything I put in place, I'm going to have to move again once the walls are ready, because they go behind it. Kind of how that works. And because of the length of the main walls. They're 22 inches. Getting them through the doors it is actually a bit of a production to where I need to move just about everything. Just getting it through the door, I kind of have to tilt it, move it in, and then like slide it and whatnot. Which means anything on the floor there just got wiped out. How do you know? Well, I might have done this with the library. It wasn't necessarily a learn the hard way. I kind of had a feeling, so I moved everything before. And while putting in the walls, I was like, yep. Glad I didn't try and do it with everything in place. Yeah, because even just a little bit of the stuff will be in the way. There is absolutely no way around that. Got kind of a problem area over here. I'm gonna have to just kind of spooge it in there and then go back through with the gray and correct on the top. Basically, the trench here, I can see vibrant white all the way down, which this will not do. Call the schoolmaster. So yeah, I'm just kind of forcing the brush down there. It's spreading some blue where there is the gray. Which means that I'm going to have to go back over with the gray and correct. But that's okay. That's okay. It is what we're going to have to do. Wow, that went out of control. It's like putting lipstick on in the dark. Definitely going to have to do some corrections with the gray. Yep. Just on another spot, same kind of scenario on the other side. Again, not trying to go all Virgo over here. And love to my Virgo friends. But if I don't do this and then I do the top sealer, 3 months from now I'm going to go, I can see white down there. Why did I do that? I know me. Not a Virgo, clearly. But I am a slightly anal Capricorn, so I'm not afraid of getting details right. But I don't typically like dwelling on details that I think are unimportant. And I'm trying to be kind of random with the way that I spread out the extra paint, because it is supposed to be like a wood stain. So it shouldn't be like a real flat color. It should have marbling variation. Helps with the authenticity. Because if it's all kind of flat one color, then that's really just a paint, not a stain, right? Definitely gonna have to hide some sins with the gray. It's alright. It's gonna look pretty cool when it's done though. It's gonna look pretty cool. The gray is going to do some amazing heavy lifting. Yeah, some areas it's cooperating really well, and some areas it's like, nope, you're going to have to get messy. Like there. Oh. Wow. Okay. You ever put lipstick on a kid that doesn't want, like, makeup? Directed some children's theater. Especially little boys. Little girls are almost always into it. But little boys, when you start putting makeup on them, sometimes They freak out. Which is funny to a point. So there is definitely the aspect of my God, will you hold still and let me do my job? It's real. The pain is real. There's a lot of that's what she said in my head right now. That's why I keep snickering. Because I'm like, I keep getting my fingers in the wrong place. That's what she said. My friend LT would be torturing me with that right now.
I didn't realize you're filming, I'm sorry.
I'm willing to bet I didn't turn it off in time. So that was Alex. I feel like I need an on-air light or something. Kids. Stepping across the battlefield here. No, stay right there. Yeah, I pulled out most of the furniture. Because this is kind of the corner. I'm going to probably utilize one of the fridges from the shop. And that's the LOL OMG kitchen set. I'm going to be doing a repaint on it too. But it should work out pretty well. And it's actually a really good scale for Cha-Cha there. And then those two pieces, the one was only two of them, one of those three. I'm going to go the two and then the three. Scared the hell out of Tanner. I dropped a bucket. But I pulled a whole bunch of foodstuffs, indoor alcohol bottles, that kind of thing. Not like the real stuff. I'm talking about to scale. I'll break that out probably tomorrow, next day to show. I'll get that bucket here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I'm running long because I was concentrating on my painting. I'm going to go get some sleep. Let that dry. Dick's my uncle and we'll start another day tomorrow. It's true. I mean, he's dead now, but yeah. Anyway. He was apparently a bit of an alcoholic and he died from liver damage and liver problems. Apparently those are related. Weird, right? Alright. Hug your parents. Hug your kids. Double check the primer, make sure it works for what you're about to paint. Make it a great day.